So here we are. Hulk Hogan has been fired from the WWE because of comments made in a video about his daughter's African American boyfriend. And why not? We're in a. It's crazy as big of a wrestling fan I am, and maybe as big of a fan of everyone is of Hulk Hogan. You have to take in consideration that what he is something that basically, are you surprised that he would make these kind of statements? Now, once the video comes out or audio comes out, we'll all hear it. The transcripts are floating around, and when it boils down to it, it's just unacceptable. We live in a day and age where our celebrities are on the 24-hour news cycle. If you're a celebrity, a reality television star, athlete, actor, doesn't matter. You are constantly in this new age of information. At any given point in time, something's being recorded, something's being videotaped, or your phones, you know what I'm saying, Twitter, all that stuff. It moves just like this. No matter how old the information is, it's still a part of you. Your tweets, your Instagrams, your Snapchats, all that shit floats around in space. Just data after data. Whether it's you contacting a friend through Twitter or taking a Snapchat of your tits, you upload that shit to the cloud, any and everything. Am I surprised that something like this went down? I'm not at all. Am I upset about the action that WWE took in terms of getting rid of Hogan and distancing themselves? Not at all. Because you have to take in consideration that not too long ago, this is 2 seasons ago. Well, yeah, we just went through the first season, basketball season, of Donald Sterling having his basketball team basically taken from him. He was forced to sell it because of comments he made towards Magic Johnson and African American basketball players. Specifically, the ones that he hired. And he didn't once call, in those recordings, he didn't once say nigger at all. And just his demeanor and what he was presenting as someone who was, quote unquote, a bigot, he had his fucking team taken away. Now, he sold it at like $4 billion or some shit like that. People want to get up in arms about like, oh yeah, he we're the suckers. He got $5 billion. It's like, hey, but he lost his seat at the table to a very exclusive club, and that's a professional sports owner. Not too many of those. It's not too many. You take hockey, basketball, football, baseball. It's 4 times 32. That's a really exclusive amount of people. And you look at Hulk Hogan and what he's done for the world of wrestling. The guy is an icon. He is probably as much as pop culture as Michael Jordan, as Michael Jackson. He's just as much pop culture today as Miley Cyrus, Jay-Z. He's Tom Cruise. I mean, he's a big star. You say any of those names in any part of the world, someone's going to know exactly who you're talking about. Hulk Hogan. You could say Randy Savage. You could say Ultimate Warrior. And maybe people are scratching their head like, I may have heard of him. Hulk Hogan? No. You know Hulk Hogan. He's done enough. He's been given enough publicity if not in the ring and outside the ring, with his wife, his daughter, his son, good and bad, the guy has made a name for himself. And once you have that much popularity, when you have that much of the world's eyes and ears on you, you have to take responsibility for the things that come out of your mouth. Now, people are like, oh, free speech, this, that, and the other. He was secretly taped, or journalism ethics have been compromised. Do you think anyone really gives a fuck about that? This is how the shit works. When you get something as hot and juicy as someone exposing themselves, whether it's Jonah Hill calling people faggots, and you know, these people should be more responsible. Now you take this interview or what have you, and someone, and at first I thought it was the DJ Who video, and I posted a video, posted an audio. I was getting all these listens, and I was like, oh man, I got it completely wrong. So I deleted it to come up with this video about the discussion of the responsibility of basically celebrities, and Hulk Hogan basically being a sacrificial lamb in how today's 24-hour news cycle and access to any recording device can get your ass in trouble. When you step out, and not necessarily step out, but when you drop your guard, it's never safe. Even off the record. If you go, hey, this is off the record, as long as that fucking recording device is still going, that's up to the person. Now, whoever this person is that exposed this tape or sold this tape, maybe he's in a bit of trouble. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's jail time involved. Maybe is there, stripping of his journalism credentials. But I don't think he gives a shit. Maybe he didn't have a job in the first place. Maybe the money that he's going to make, he's not going to need to fucking write another article. All he got to do is start a blog. And he can still market off of that. He can start a podcast. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. If there's no law, like jail time involved. Let Hulk Hogan be an example of who we are as, well, who celebrities are. They got to stay on point. You can't be caught being homophobic. You can't be caught being racist or bigoted. You can't be caught like not having any kind of sympathy or any of these things for certain groups of minorities that exist here in America. You can't be promoting rape, and you can't be talking about women in certain ways. It's just, today's progressive world has become more or less, even if you feel it, you keep it to yourself, because someone's going to expose you, and then the pitchforks will come out. Freedom of speech, freedom of speech. I understand freedom of speech. This is why I'm doing this video. But you got to be, with your freedom of speech, there is a form of responsibility that goes along with it. And it's a lot at cost, whether on a lower level, a high level. If you're like somebody that has a job, you get caught like doing some bullshit, and it's on social media, hey, it's up to whoever your hiree is, or the person the place you work at, to look, hey, this person does not represent our company, and he's terminated. He or she is terminated. That's their responsibility. WWE is in the same boat right now. Whether it's the dude, the nappy-headed hose girl, guy. I mean, he's doing okay for himself, but at the time, he lost his job. Because, A, somebody felt that this wasn't a representation of who they were as a company. Or the one guy who made a comment about, I think it was during the Ohio State-Michigan game, and it was they were promoting a NASCAR thing, and his name was like, I can't even think of his name, but it was like a Spanish name, a Mexican name, and he says he's out going to get a taco. That son of a bitch, they got him the hell up out of there. You don't want to be caught with doing these things nowadays. And Hulk Hogan is no exception to him. I don't care if it was 8 years ago. He's still him. If he felt that way 8 years ago, I guarantee you he feels the same way today. And very much like the interview with DJ Who Kid. He had a comment in there and said, man, I used to say nigger all the time. But now when I say it, I get heat. So, surprise for fucking prize. The guy got caught saying some racial shit. He admitted to always saying it. Right there. If you heard it, I got it mixed up that the reason why he got fired. But it was clear as day that he says this stuff. But it got recorded. I wouldn't be surprised that Triple H, Stephanie, Vince, Michael P.S. Hayes, all those fuckers down at WWF have said some racial fucking slurs. Hell, there's a skit where John Cena is approached when he was doing the whole like chain gang thing. He's approached by Vince McMahon and he says, "What up, my nigga?" It's so, people, if you want to make a big deal out of hypocrisy of the WWE, yeah, go for it. I think they deserve it. But I still can't fault them for making the decision that they did. And yeah, a lot is at stake from a lower level to a high level. Whether you're just a person on, your Snapchat, on your Facebook or your Twitter, or you're a high-profile celebrity, there's a lot at stake. Your livelihood, your reputation, and your status. These things are all at stake when you are in this 24-hour news cycle. And you have to be way more responsible for how you present yourself. You have to. You have to. So, Hulk Hogan going down in flames, again, very much like everyone else before him. Hank Williams Jr., like everyone before. What the fuck is her name? That Southern cook chick? I can't even think of her name. She's not even worth mentioning. Remembering her name. She had to hit the bricks. Duck Dynasty was this close because the homosexual, the homophobic things they made, comments that they made. It's a very, 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 very slippery slope that we live on these days. How we carry ourselves and how people view us and how it will be portrayed. And again, Hulk Hogan, very much like the predecessors before you, you have to basically own up to the mistakes that you've made. And I'm not someone with a pitchfork and a stake and burning cross. I'm just like, hey, so I'm not surprised. So it's not that big of a deal to me. But to everyone else, you have to understand, when you make a mistake, you have to own up to it, especially when you're at the level of celebrity status that Hulk Hogan is. You're held to a different standard, and it's just the way it is. So that's my take on this whole Hulk Hogan thing. So like it or not like it, doesn't matter. I'm not saying anything in terms of detrimental to him. I'm just saying what it is what it is. If some shit like that happened to me, I will be held to the same standard. Even as just some dude who records wrestling videos, reviews, and podcasts. If someone catches me fucking up, I'm held accountable. That's just the way it is. So, everyone have a good weekend.